Week 8 of the Belgian Pro League and a huge summit meeting in Brussels between Anderlecht and Club Brugge, especially with them lying second and third. Leaders Gent kicking off almost simultaneously against Eupen, with 4 points dividing the top 11, multiple clubs with a chance to go top, including Antwerp against RWDM, Cercle at home to Unie Saint-Gilloise, and both Genk and Sint-Truiden in a Limburg derby you simply won't want to miss. Big games in the bottom half too: Charleroi, Kortrijk, Mechelen, Leuven, and to kick off the weekend's excitement, two more of the bottom five. Standard Liège against Westerlo. Friday night football from the Belgian Pro League and a big game at the bottom. Last May, this was a European playoffs tie between two top 8 sides. Tonight, in deeper September, they're both in the bottom 5. Only one win between them. From the Sclessa, it's Standard Liège against Westerlo. Westerlo, if they lose tonight, would have their worst ever run in the top flight. They've never lost 7 in a row. They've lost 6 in a row 3 times already. They want to take the lead here and almost did. Mitsuo, tight angle, good stop by Bodar. Temptation for Veneno, a let it go. Good hit. Punched away well again by Bodar. Charlie getting behind it well. Here's Isaac Hayden now, getting a wide for Gineppo again. Kanga waiting in the middle, and Fossey's there as well, and Balakwish is making ground! Tried to slip it in. Bolat denying. This was really dynamic. And suddenly there's lots of room for Kamal Sawan. Bolat had to react quick and did. Goy. Oh, nice try. Bolat grabbing, stopping. Balakwisha could go all the way through. Here's the opening. And it was a big opening. Gineppo. It's open up in front of Gineppo! So close! Very nice break from Moussa Gineppo. His last goal for Standard Liège coming in 2019. Oh, brilliantly done by Price. First touch! Created Kanga, almost finished it off. That was a real threat. And it's Chanak. Sends it in deep. Good delivery. Headed over by Ohio. And that was their big opening. Dewal got it out towards Noah Ohio, who went for it, Ohio, and that swung right at the end. Bodas hit it long, it's finished 0-0. It is the first clean sheet for both sides this season, and the tactical masterclass works for Jonas de Rock. Westerlo have shut down Standard Liège tonight. After so impressively winning at Eupen last week, they still have not won at home in over 5 months now. Do they have cheerleaders in the second division? Charleroi don't want to find out. Not too early to call this a relegation 6-pointer. Charleroi 14th, Kortrijk 15th, both without a win going into this, neither an imperial force. The Zebras with 4 points not putting any pressure on coach Felicia Massu. His predecessor Edward Still may feel differently at Kortrijk, only 2 draws in their 7 games this season. Charleroi majorly testing Club Brugge last weekend, a late breakaway from Noosa and Jupiler clinching a 4-2 win. A succession of early half chances against Kortrijk showing little danger. This very different. Marco Ilamaharitru's effort deflecting off Ode Daba, with Kortrijk keeper Tom Vandenberger having to react quickly. Kortrijk conceding in the 97th minute against Anderlecht last week to be denied victory. Despite being in the bottom four, both sides have shown signs of being able to pick up extra points, Charleroi especially. Kortrijk's biggest problem to date being unable to keep a clean sheet so far this season. 31 minutes in, Ilima Haritra's dangerous ball across, turned in by Isaac Mbenza, so no clean sheet here either. 1-0 Charleroi. Mbenza's first goal since the final day of last season, and a 2-2 draw with Genk. The problems for the Carrols starting with Linkador losing possession to Ilima Haritra, who in making space down the right-hand side left Kortrijk majorly exposed. And Mbenza doing the rest. Kortrijk, the lowest scorers in the league, trying to break that habit. João Silva's header stopped on the line by Jean Regaly. Very little going the Carrols' way. Regaly proving useful at both ends. An excellent post-Christmas surge under Bernd Storck, keeping Kortrijk up by 4 points last season. His services not needed this season. In this, finding a bit of their groove finally, Hervé Coffey missing his punch. Dion Deneuve unable to find an opening himself, teeing up Abdelkahar Kadri, denied by Stelios Andreu. Munayam El Idrissi on the rebound, unable to find the target either. A major chance going a-begging. Coffey's miscue opening the door for Kortrijk big time. From there, lots of effort, but little reward. Masu's demeanour not quite that of a man in the lead. Charleroi 1-0 up at half-time. The Zebras attacked non-stop against Club Brugge last week, leading twice to the Jan Breidel. A positive frame of mind doing them the world of good, and keeping their attack-minded formation here too. And Mbenza looking for his and Charleroi second, but turned away by Van den Berge. Kortrijk seeing 16 players depart in the summer. The squad refresh yet to have a positive impact. Pushing for an equaliser, Dylan Mbaya running into trouble. Abdoulaye Sissako's slip, unfortunately timed as well. Charleroi sending 4 forward on the break. Mbenza in one of his better games getting into position, but just denied by Van den Berge. The angle getting too tight. Success for Edwards still last season was keeping Eupen up. He preferred to avoid a relegation battle this time, but knows the spotlight is firmly on him. The numbers don't lie, he said afterwards. It's just not been good enough. Kortrijk aware of this too. Making progress first down the right, then the left. Sissako and Kadri playing in Cardiff City loanee Sheyi Ojo, giving Coffey a good test. Burkina Faso's #1 working hard to protect his clean sheet, having only had one this season previously. A big result for Charleroi, their first win of the season, and though still in the relegation zone, only 4 points off the top 6. Drawing all those games previously has been a major help. Not such good news for Kortrijk. 8 games, no wins, they're still bottom. Charleroi 1, Kortrijk 0. Mechelen would have gone within a point of the top had they won at St Truiden last weekend, instead falling 2-0. Another chance to do that though, lying 8th and hosting a team in the relegation zone. Despite being 4th from bottom, Leuven with only 1 loss and 4 going into this, holding leaders Gent 1-1 last week. Jon Dager Torsteinsen needing only 77 seconds for the lead goal here. Leuven striking first for the 3rd game in a row. They're making a habit of this. With Mechelen losing possession on halfway, Nathan Nsingi's through ball doing a lot of damage, Torsteinsen supplying the rest. Nail-biting stuff for Ariel Jacobs, director of football in Leuven these days. Nicholas Storm's corner eventually finding Leon Lauberbach. The German convinced he had scored. Nothing given by referee Nathan Verbomen though. With Mechelen still mulling that over, Leuven happy to take advantage and build a swift counter-attack. New signing for Metz, Youssef Maziz launching a quick offensive, picking out Thornsteinsen, getting him in the clear, denied by Lascaf's Sandy Walsh challenge. Nothing for him either. A lot to go through for VAR, watching both incidents back. First Lauberbach's header, cleared off the line by Sieber Schrijvers. Then Thorsteinsen interrupted by Sandy Walsh without getting the ball. Referee for Bowman saying no to the goal, but yes to the penalty kick. Thorsteinsen taking. Gaten Cook saving. Leuven's 3rd penalty of the season, a 3rd different taker. They'd scored the previous 2 over 5 minutes between the foul and the spot kick. That a fillip for Mechelen. Storm's corner finding Rabchi's head, so close to an equaliser for Malinois. Rabchi not picked up at the near post. Elias Kobat arriving at the far post, just not able to turn home. The lengthy VAR stoppage seeing a large amount of added time at the end of the first half, into the 6th minute of it when Insigne's strike, parried by Cook, would end up with Maziz for a looping header to make it in for his first goal since arriving for Metz, whom he'd helped win promotion to Ligue 1. OHL 2 up. The excellent pace of Insigne doing all the damage. Cook with another good save, but not banking on Maziz, who'd previously scored in the 3-0 win over bottom club Kortrijk. Bad times for Mechelen, 2 down at half-time. A bit more urgency needed from the home side, and right from the kickoff they would have it, with some fans yelling for handball. New signing Patrick Fluke keeping his concentration to fire home a beauty. His first for the Yellow Reds after being around Switzerland and the Netherlands after years in the Bundesliga. A finish belying all that. So Mechelen back in it at 2-1, but Leuven still in the lead and comfortable. Insigne robbing Cobb out. The recently re-signed left-back then rescuing it. Only temporarily though, Richie Sagrado placing Thorsteinsson in position to strike again, and denied once more by a solid Cook save. Both defences living on their nerves. Thorsteinsson could have had a hat-trick by this stage. Leuven had been heavily chided by their support for being unambitious early in the season, especially after losing 6-0 at Antwerp. Coach Mark Bryce said then he had the makings of a good team this season. Maybe he's right. Maziz and Thorsteinsson combining again, the French striker's effort saved, Thorsteinsson digging it out before awaiting the Maziz return and doing a lot with it too. Another excellent save from Cook in a game of many chances. Somehow still just the 1 goal for the Iceland international tonight. How? 10 minutes to go and look who's on the prowl again. Leuven's second highest scorer last season with 12. Thorsteinsson could well be on the way to another double-digit haul this season. A little step inside, a tremendous effort unleashed, potentially one of the goals of the weekend to make it 3-1, and very well celebrated too. All in vain though, another one that wouldn't count. Nothing to do with Thorsteinsson. Watch out instead for Jeroen Dum grabbing Dan Foulon and straying offside to see this one not counting. Still not comfortable for Mark Bryce and company. Both teams could hardly be any more creative in this one. Leuven with 15 scoring chances. This is 16th for Mechelen for Mori Kanate. A tantalising deflected effort turned aside by Maxence Prévost. Leuven out of the relegation zone. Mechelen's 2 losses seeing them fall down the table. 2 wins and they'd have been top. Mechelen 1 at Heverlee Leuven 2. Let's just say the first half of this wasn't worth writing home about, but the champions may feel the second half to be a write-off as well. Antwerp trying to erase their 5-0 Champions League loss away to Barcelona from their minds. Jurgen Ekkelenkamp nodding down for Vincent Janssen, caught in a tangle with Luis Segovia. Referee Wim Smet not convinced about a penalty, but no doubt about Segovia catching Janssen while in the act of shooting. And when viewed again by the referee, only one decision could follow. So Janssen picking himself up, dusting himself off, and denied by RWDM keeper Theo de Ferny. One of the main heroes from last week's 2-1 win over Cercle Brugge, and a hero again here. Janssen going right, de Ferny getting it right. Antwerp's 3-0 win over Westerlo last weekend, though impressive, only got going in the last 25. At the same point here, Garano Kirk upping the stakes with his cross. Abner Muya's volley going close. 18 minutes to go, the champions' control increasing. Arthur Vermeuren's ball into the area, releasing Owen Wijndal, clipped by the freshly on Ile Camera. Another penalty for Antwerp. No doubt about this one, the new signing from Ajax clean through. When Janssen missed from the spot against Genk last season, a second penalty was taken by Toby Alderweireld. Not this time, Janssen again and de Ferny again. Like we said last week, it helps to have a good keeper. Only the 4th time in 20 years that the same player has missed 2 penalties in the same Pro League game. A second half very much all Antwerp. Only 1 attempt on target from Molenbeek. Janssen hoping his piece of history would be a footnote to the game and not the headline. De Ferny's loving his own name up in lights though. The RWDM keeper spent 1 season at Antwerp when they were in the 2nd division. And though it's been Antwerp's year, this is de Ferny's night, and for coach Kasapa too. He firmly has his goalkeeper to thank for that. For Mark van Bommel and Antwerp, the week could hardly be worse. A midweek meeting with Gent for them next. Royal Antwerp 0 or WDM 0. Hello from Will Downing. So this big local derby could see either side go joint top this lunchtime or top outright. Here we are knocking towards the end of September. Boca. They've sent plenty forward. Oh, this is lovely. Koita! Oh, it's in! Abu Bakari Koita unleashes another beauty. He scored a beauty in the opening day against Standard Liège. And that largely his own work again. Sint-Truiden lead the Limburg derby. And it's the Canaries who lead the derby. And it's gone a little quiet around most of the Segeke. It is a sellout, of course. And now, Koita bursting forward again from the kickoff. They've got plenty up. Kaya's waiting in the middle. He's not the only one. Kaya! Great save, Van der Voort. It had to be. Boca will fancy it, and Ito as well. And Ito it is. And he hit his own teammate. Oh, what a ripper! Koita's got a second! And there's no stopping that! 2-0 Sint-Truiden. Dream stuff in the derby. And nobody scored more in the Pro League this season than Abu Bakari Koita. And here they come again. Hashioka's in, and he's got support. This could be 3. It is 3. Koita's got a first half hat-trick. And they're 3-0 up in the derby away at Genk. They haven't had a day like this for years. It's their first hat-trick in 3.5 years. It's 2 goals in a minute. 2-0 and then 3-0. Lovely goal. The comeback can begin now. Bilal El-Khanous. 3 minutes before the hour mark. And their new number 10 showing he is worthy of the number. Fine goal. Rozovsky. Deep ball, lovely ball. Great save. Tolo on the rebound. Suzuki denying Paintsel. Magnificent save. Koita! Almost another one. Good hanging ball in. Chance on the turn for Tolo, and he's got it. 3-2. And the final word on it will come from the VAR, Eric Lambrechts. It was ruled out very quickly. Now that can, look at the leg of Boca, that may well be onside. Tolu turning well and putting home. Great chance on the turn, brilliant striking in. On a knife edge throw out of Rankin as it was in stoppage time, it's a goal! Genk 2, Sint-Truiden 3. Tolu gets his 5th of the season. And Genk are not spent yet. Good deep one. Nice close control too for Christopher Bonzuba! Almost 3-3. Excellent save by Suzuki. El-Khanous with the corner. Great header, what a save! To deny Tolu again. Sion Suzuki. Sensational. Tolu's header looping in and Suzuki judged it brilliantly. Back in towards the middle again. Another looping one. Oh, it's gone in. It's 3-3. A real tale of the unexpected! And Genk have fought back from 3-0 down, and now they want the win. Paintsel from a long way out, and Suzuki saw it slip through his grasp for 3-3. Genk come from 3-0 down, suffering the second fastest hat-trick of all time, to come back and draw this Limburg derby 3-3. Cercle Bruges missing the chance to go top themselves last week, caught out by RWDM. Beaten by Genk last time out, Union Saint-Gilloise responded with a positive 1-1 draw with Toulouse in the Europa League. Union escaped the unbridled with the same scoreline during their title run-in last season, both with much to prove after last weekend's defeats. One new factor for Union is new signing from European opponents Lugano, the Algeria international Mohamed Amoura. It was his equaliser that earned the point in Europe on Thursday, and here almost giving the Brussels men the lead after 35 seconds, the post coming to Cercle's rescue. For the Unionese, it would have been the perfect way to put recent heartbreak behind them straight from the off. Losses to Mechelen and Genk with that 2-2 draw against Antwerp, leaving Union with only a point from the last 3 games, very much unlike them. Jean-Thierry Lazard doing all the legwork here, breaking up the Cercle attack, picking Amoura in the middle, 15 minutes in, and Union a goal up. Possibly. The offside flag going up early, one to be reviewed. Scoring 3 in 2 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers in the summer for Algeria marked him out as a proper prospect, and with the goals flowing for Boniface at Leverkusen and Matoma at Brighton, Amoura looks like a worthy successor. Honestly, it could only be a goal, no other decision would have been correct. Now, after 16 minutes at Cercle Bruges, they always applaud the number of former goalkeeper Miguel Van Damme, who died from leukemia last year. This weekend would have been his 30th birthday. Union 1-0 up going into the second half and determined to wrap it up quickly. Charles Van Houten was at Cercle for 11 years, man and boy, joining as a 13-year-old. Cercle put special signs up in the tunnel pre-match, directing him to the away dressing room. He knows the way to go now, though, this close to making it 2-0. Wallason denying him, and Casper Terho as well. This one of the better displays from the Brazilian keeper, his 4th season at Cercle, but his first as number 1. And this one of Union's best displays of the season. The fixtures computer hasn't been kind, but they love a challenge. Lazar's latest through ball getting Amoura clear for his and Union's second. Have they found another gem? It certainly looks like it. His 3rd goal in 2 games. Amoura still with a lot on his plate, picking it up in the middle of the Cercle half. 3 men around him, but dealing with them all, and Wallason too. Amoura ended Lugano's wait for a top-class trophy when he helped them to the Swiss Cup, the sort of man Union can definitely do with. Miran Muslic was unhappy with Cercle's loss at RWDM last week, giving possession away for both goals, very much unlike them. In fact, that's how they tend to force a good proportion of their goals. Christian Ravic winning the ball back twice, Kazim Elagbe spotting an opening for Thibaut Summers down the left, almost scoring. Cercle won 4 out of 5 heading to Brussels last week, but their fate firmly sealed here with 8 minutes to go. Kevin Rodriguez shut down definitively by Sena Miange, already on a yellow card. Miange given his marching orders by referee Bram van Driesch. Very much an open and shut case. Miange misjudging, resigned to his obvious fate. A very robust challenge, to put it mildly. For Union, their first win in 4 league games, but they've not lost much ground. They go 4th. Cercle Bruges 0, Union Saint-Gilloise 2. It's by far one of Belgium's biggest games, a clash of the 2 most successful clubs in Pro League history. But they weren't last season. Big signing, Kasper Schmeichel starts for Anderlecht today. A rousing start for both this season, and top spot remains up for grabs tonight. From Astrid Park, Lotto Park, it's the topper, 2nd against 3rd, Anderlecht against Club Brugge. It's Van Aken, short for Skov Olsen, given away again, Van Aken in. Look at the amount of red shirts forward for Club Brugge here, De Kuiper! Struck well, struck just over the top by Maxime De Kuiper. He's come through towards Francis Amuzu, all of a sudden facing Saba. He'll get the shot away. Good one to the far post. Dolberg's in. Anderlecht lead. Their first proper chance of the game, and just before half-time, the Mauves strike. Anderlecht lead the Klassiker, but at what cost? Dolberg might just have injured himself in the middle of it all. He does seem quite unsure of himself. He was anyway. Look at him limping. Really well recovered, and now the break is on. And is sent forward well by Luis Vasquez, who's not had much of an opportunity to do much since coming on just before half-time for the ancient Kasper Dolberg. It's open up well for Hazard! Couldn't keep it down. Torgan Hazard's first start. Zinkernagel on the trot forward. Nice little back heel. Skov-Olsen ties it up to beat his Danish international colleague Schmeichel. All square in the topper. Skov-Olsen makes his mark. Just as club were about to make a double change. They really are relishing scoring against their various opponents these days. Clipped away well by Jonas Spelers again. And dynamically claimed by Jupiler, who's got a lot of pace here. Streaking through, Thiago! No! It's a corner. Massive moment. Jupiler in a great position alongside. But if you're a top striker, you've got the confidence. You'll always go for it yourself, surely. The highest placed team to win heading into the weekend were 9th at the start of the weekend. That's Union Saint-Gilloise. Nobody else above them winning yet. Jupiler can change all that! And that would have been some way to win it. And that's it for the 8th time in 9 games. Anderlecht and Club Brugge finished level. At least Anderlecht did not lose the game, but it's 3 draws in a row for them. Their unbeaten run now extends to 7. Club Brugge have lost just 1 in 11 in all competitions. A tied topper at Astrid Park. Anderlecht 1, Club Brugge 1. That draw in Brussels knocking Gent from 1st to 3rd, but potentially not for long, with their home game against Eupen kicking off 45 minutes later than the topper at Anderlecht. Eupen losing their last 2 to Mechelen and Standard Liège. The Buffaloes held to a 1-1 draw in the Conference League by Zorya Luhansk. The Pandas among the plethora of teams to have missed out on top spot in the league over the past 2 weeks. Jason Davidson getting Isaac Nuhu away. Alfred Finn-Bogersson's close-range shot turned away by Paul Nardi. A good opening. How clever by Nuhu. Eupen making much of the opening running, and a lot of that coming from Australia international Davidson. To the fore again here, starting the move and almost spectacularly finishing it too. An Asian Champions League winner with Ulsan. Davidson's shot wickedly deflected, denied by bar and post. Finn-Bogersson's rebound turned over. Eupen boss Florian Colbert strongly encouraged. Davidson's effort coming off Watanabe before the double hitting of the woodwork. Finn-Bogersson's header also connecting with the crossbar. The constant threat shown by the Pandas very impressive, with Nuhu continuing to make a lot happen. Rune Peisaus's placement of Milos Pantovic perfect, the finish even better. His first goal since signing from Union Berlin, who he helped qualify for the Champions League this season. Eupen can only dream of that, all the same, a dream start. Julien Desart had managed to break up the original run, but Pantelic still on hand to inflict the damage. Now, worth keeping an eye here, not on the ball, but on Gift Orban on the left of your picture when it returns. A frustrating season so far with only 6 goals in all competitions. A clash with Paishauser leaving the young Belgian defender on the deck. Only one suspect, only one outcome. Red for Orban. A swipe of his arm, apparently making contact. Nothing for VAR to reverse. Orban departing. But at least these fans would be coming back for the second half. Gent a goal down and a man down. Could they respond? The answer would come within 50 seconds of the restart. Archie Brown released on the left-hand side, going down under the challenger Regan Charles Cook. A penalty for Gent right at the start of the second half. Not a lot of contact, but enough. Hugo Kuipers with the responsibility for Gent. Saved well by Gabriel Slanina, but Sven Coombs scoring on the rebound. Sharp thinking from the captain. His first goal of the season, and Gent on terms straight away. Kuipers had scored 7 penalties in a row for Gent, his first miss from the spot in 5.5 years from back when he was playing in Greece. Coombs on the follow-up, having come off the bench at half-time. Gent beginning to push the initiative. Coombs winning possession back, playing through Kuipers with Malik Fofana primed. An excellent effort from the youth team graduate. He scored a crucial goal against Apple Nicosia in the European qualifiers during the summer. He's still awaiting his first league goal, this one clipping the crossbar. Approaching the hour mark and the additional rest for Coombs after Conference League duties paying dividends. His corner sneaking through to Tarek Tissadali for the lead goal. The Buffaloes in front on 58 minutes. Only Tissadali's second league goal after the horrific ACL injury picked up at the start of last season. Every goal worth celebrating for him these days. Coombs' delivery bouncing through, Tissadali bounding through. His role may become even more important if Orban is missing a few games. Into the second minute of stoppage time and Eupen still hungry. Charles Cook in a glorious position to equalise when he stole through the middle, but Paul Nardi ready for it. A very important save as it would turn out. Charles Cook all on his own, a strong header but an effective save from Nardi. A big comeback win for Gent, and one that gives them a clear lead at the top on a weekend when all the other recent form teams have dropped points. The red card for Orban could provide a problem with games against Antwerp or RWDM, Genk and Cercle coming up. Gent 2, Eupen 1. Remarkably, only one team starting the weekend in the top half of the table would win, and that's Gent. Union's win at Cercle Brugge means they rocket up the table, with Charleroi and Leuven the only other winners, both starting the weekend in the relegation zone. The draws between Genk and Sint-Truiden and Anderlecht Club Brugge, real thrillers. The 2 0-0s, somewhat less so. Gent open up a 2-point lead over Anderlecht and Club Brugge after that 1-1 draw in Brussels. Major movement from Union Saint-Gilloise from joint 10th Sunday lunchtime up to 4th. Cercle and Mechelen the big fallers. Standard's Friday night draw sees them drop back into the bottom 4. That's due to Leuven's win, with Charleroi getting a significant result too. Mechelen have lost 2 in a row, Eupen 3 in a row. Westerlo and Kortrijk still without a win, though Westerlo's point at Standard takes them off the bottom. So some big games on midweek that were deferred due to European commitments. Antwerp Gent or RWDM Union and Club Genk all on before the week 9 action, which begins Friday with Kortrijk Cercle. Anderlecht Standard and Antwerp all on the road Saturday at Eupen, Leuven and Mechelen. Felicia Matsu brings Charleroi back to his old Brussels stamping ground and Union Saint-Gilloise. Genk Westerlo, Club Sint-Truiden and or RWDM Gent will all have significance at the top 2. So until then, from Will Downing and the Pro League TV team in Brussels, enjoy your football.